all right, sister. I've been called worse. Good evening.
Good evening.
Goodwill is the monarch of this house. Indeed it is. I want to thank President Griggs and Madam President Matthews for the invitation to speak. I did a little research and I found out that in the year 1953, the world was so expensive. How expensive was it? I'm gonna tell you how expensive it was. Bread was 28 cents. Can y'all believe that? Bread was 28 cents. A gallon of gas was 29 cents. A 3-bedroom house was $2,500 in 1953. Man, that is so expensive. Oh my God. And also in that year, someone in NAACP decided to come up with the idea that we would raise $1 million every year for the next 10 years. Because by the time 10 years had passed, it would be 1963. And of course, 1963 was 100 years from what? Okay, I see some of us, we went to history class. Okay, absolutely, yes. The Emancipation Proclamation was in 1863. So they decided that we will raise $1 million every year so that by 1963, we could eradicate racism and segregation. And thus was born the Freedom Fund.
Yes, yes.
That's why it's called his story. Because until we know it, it needs to become our story. Let me take my teaching hat off for a minute. So this poem that I wrote, I thought about Medgar Evers, I thought about Roy Wilkins, I thought about all of the legacies of the people who have come before us and how they have left footprints and how we are leaving footprints. And so the title of this poem is called Footprints in the Sand. For centuries, our people have survived because we knew that bread alone would not keep us alive. But it is by the word of God and love and community that we have thrived. And that's why the Henry County chapter leaves footprints in the sand. You know, the Freedom Fund, it started in 1953. And it does generate money. On this we can agree. But I'm gonna tell you, it takes more than money to set our people free. It takes legacies to leave footprints in the sand. And that's why Rosa and Rufus and Shakur and Deborah Lee Prince and Lutrina and Keisha and LaToya are convinced that Don and Wanda and Erica and Annette fight against. And that's why we have followed the footprints ever since. But you know, it's not just 11. There are many others, countless, untold stories of sisters and brothers. And if you look at their footprints, then you will discover the National Association for the advancement of people of color. You know, we all ride together, and this is a fact. But you know, you don't have to be great just to make an impact. Just be a servant, and greatness will attract. And that's why this chapter leaves footprints in the sand. And we are thriving together. Because this is God's plan. And as long as we have you, we are in the best hands. Thriving together, this will understand. While the Henry County chapter of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. This is why we leave footprints in the sand. Thank you.